What is up, guys? Mauna here from MauGT, back again with another video, and I just wanted to give you guys a quick video on something new in the world of Android. So as you may or may not know, this past week was Google I/O. And at Google I/O, which is basically a developers conference, they talk about the development of new things within Google and usually sometimes some hardware products. So for example, this year we got the Pixel 3a and the Nest Hub Max. But one of the most important things that was talked about at Google I/O was Android Q Beta 3. So we already had Android Q Beta 1 and Android Q Beta 2 for Pixel 1 and Pixel 2 and Pixel 3 devices, so developers and pretty much anybody with a Pixel 1, Pixel 2, or Pixel 3 could flash the Android Q Beta on their device and get some hands-on time with the new operating system before it's finally released. People discovered some new features like scoped storage, theming, and so people got a chance to check it out with Beta 1 and Beta 2, but with the introduction of Beta 3 at Google I/O, the beta was brought to a bunch of devices, even more devices than what we saw with the Android P beta, which took place last year. And so from that P beta list, the Essential phone makes a return. So I have the Android Q beta up and running on my Essential phone. I got it the day it came out, the day it was announced. And I've been using it ever since, and obviously it's a beta, so there are some bugs and hiccups here and there, but performance has been pretty stable. Battery life has been about the same, and it's been running pretty well, no like major issues. So if you want to install it on your Essential phone, just go to the Play Store and download the Essential Q Beta app. I'll leave it linked in the description below. You just install the app, type in your serial number, it'll register your device with Essential servers. Then a few moments later, you can check the settings apps for the update, just OTA update, and you're good to go. So just to show you guys that I am indeed running Android Q version 10, you can see here in the settings app, Android version is 10, May security patch level is May 5th, and we've got the build number for this release. Now, one of the biggest things that was introduced with Android P, actually, we'll go back to Android P, was gesture navigation. So obviously you have the little pill at the bottom, you can swipe up to get to recent apps, tap to go home, and then you just have a back button on the left. With Android Q, Google is going all in with gesture navigation. Some people were complaining about Android P's system, and so Google has completely changed that. Now when you install the Android Q beta on your Essential phone or any other device, you may still see this pill system, but there is a way to change it and to get the new gesture navigation system. So if we go into settings here, and let's see if I zoom in a little bit here. So we go into settings, we go to system, so that's where the gestures are. We go into gestures and system navigation, right there. So when we go into system navigation, we get the 3 different options. So you can go back to the 3-button navigation if you want. So the traditional 3-button Android navigation. You can obviously select the 2-button navigation, which is what we were just on. And then you can pick the brand new fully gestural navigation. And so now, once we switch to the fully gestural navigation, you'll see, or well, you should see, that instead of a pill or anything like that, it's just a thin little bar taking where the navigation bar used to take up. And so one main reason why I like this is because now with a phone like this, where it's got a notch obviously to maximize screen real estate, you can now take full advantage of that screen real estate in all of your apps and such. Now some people, after having some experience with the beta, have been a little confused about the navigation system and the way it works, and that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video, as well as show you one hidden trick that not very many people know about. So the new gesture navigation system in Android Q works almost the same way, or pretty much the same way that it does work on the iPhone 10, 10s, and 10R. So for an app, like the Play Store for example, all we have to do is swipe up to go home. Now, if you're using the Quick Step stock launcher on this, that animation will be a little bit smoother. It won't stutter and go to the app screen and then go home. It'll just go right home. If you want to access your recent apps, you swipe up and hold, and you get access to that. So you can scroll through all of your recent apps, and then I can just tap to go home. You can still swipe here at the bottom, or well, if I go into an app, and as you can see, again, this is a beta, so it is a little bit buggy, but I can go into an app and I can swipe down at the bottom to switch between apps. I can go back, wait, let me just unlock that. All right, so I can, and then I can go back over to the Play Store, just like that. Now, since it's just this thin bar here, there is no longer a back button. So in order to go back, you can swipe to the left from either edge of the screen. So I can do this, or I can do this. Either gesture will take me back. This, however, does have a conflict with, and I think you just saw it, with apps that have a side menu, where most people would normally pull that menu in from the side instead of just pressing the button. Now that back gesture is there, and so there's a little bit of conflict there, and I think app developers will be able to update their apps to change priority or something like that between the back gesture and the overflow menu. So we can swipe up to go home. And so that's how the new gesture navigation system works, pretty much the same way it does within the iPhone 10 devices. However, there is one thing that some people have been confused about, and that is how to trigger Google Assistant. Obviously, get it focus here. Obviously, there's no button here anymore. There's nothing for you to hold. You can see if I hold this, I'm holding on the little bar there. It's not triggering Google Assistant. Obviously, I can tap this button to bring up Google Assistant within my launcher, but most people aren't going to spend a lot of time on their home screen or want to go all the way to their home screen just to trigger the Google Assistant. Obviously, I can just say, "Hey Google," and the Google Assistant will come up, but you also don't just want to say, "Hey Google," every single time you want to trigger your assistant. So to trigger Google Assistant using the new fully gestural navigation, all you have to do is go from the corner and swipe and hold, and that triggers Google Assistant. You can do that from any two of the bottom corners. Just go directly from the corner and hold, and that will trigger your Google Assistant. One more time. Right from the corner up. And you don't even have to do it directly up. You can do it to the side, and again, it's a little finicky, but once you get your corner placement working, or your corner placement accurate, you can swipe pretty much in any direction from that corner to trigger Google Assistant. So for just a quick recap of the gestures, again, you swipe up and hold, just like on an iPhone. Swipe up and hold just like on a new iPhone to get to your recent apps. If you're in a different screen, you can swipe that way to go back, or you can swipe from this side to go back. If you want to go home, just throw the app up, swipe up. And then if you want to trigger Google Assistant, swipe from the corner and hold. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know if you guys want to see like a comprehensive overview of the Android Q beta on the Essential phone. I'd be glad to make that video. Let me know if there's anything else specific you guys want to see. And again, I will leave the links to the different installation methods for different devices in the description below. My Twitter and Instagram will also be in the description below. Make sure to follow me on those. Subscribe if you aren't already, and make sure you turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a new video. I hope you guys have a great day, and peace out.